Is skipping unit tests bad practice or just a waste of time? Why some devs say unit tests are a waste? Let's be brutally honest. A lot of developers skip unit tests, and it's not just juniors who are in a rush to push code. I'm talking about senior engineers, team leads, even entire companies that just don't care. Why? Because in real-world projects, especially in startups, agencies, or freelance contracts, time is money. You're told to deliver a feature yesterday, you've got 2 weeks to ship an MVP. In that context, testing starts to look like a luxury, not a necessity. And many devs justify skipping them with arguments like, why should I test this? It's just a simple function. It either works or it doesn't. I'll add tests later once the code is more stable. This isn't production yet, we just need to validate the idea. Then there's the classic. The tests break more often than the actual code does, which honestly happens when you write brittle tests that are too tightly coupled to implementation details. Some developers are also burned by bad testing experiences. Test files that take 10 minutes to run, test code that's harder to read than the production code, or mocks so deep they basically simulate reality worse than just using a staging environment. And don't forget this one. We have 100% test coverage, but the app still crashed in production. Yeah, because all the tests covered were the happy path. Nothing tested edge cases, failure scenarios, or race conditions. To make matters worse, some teams treat unit tests like documentation. You write them because it looks good in code reviews or because some manager is checking for a metric. But like documentation, if no one maintains it, it slowly becomes outdated and misleading. So, it's not that developers hate tests, they hate bad tests or tests that feel like they're written for the sake of process, not value. And honestly, they're not wrong to feel that way. Why skipping them is risky? Are unit tests actually a best practice or just another checkbox we pretend to care about? But now let's flip the script, because while there are cases where skipping tests might feel practical in the short term, you're often trading short-term speed for long-term chaos. When you're working on a growing codebase or one that's touched by multiple developers, unit tests aren't just useful, they're your safety net. They help you catch regressions before your users do. They make sure that when you refactor a class or split a service, you don't unknowingly break logic in 5 other places. Imagine you're working on a payments module. You refactor the way discounts are applied. No tests, no coverage, everything looks fine. But in production, someone gets charged twice. That bug costs real money, real trust. A basic test could have caught it. Even beyond catching bugs, good tests change how you write code. If a function is painful to test, that's usually a design smell. Maybe it's doing too many things. Maybe it's too tightly coupled. Testing becomes feedback, not just on whether your code works, but on whether it's healthy. And let's be real, debugging without tests in a complex project is painful. It's like being dropped into the middle of the ocean with no map, no compass, and no clue where the leak is. With proper unit tests in place, you isolate the issue in minutes. Without them, it's hours of guesswork, breakpoints, and maybe this fixes it, commits. Finally, don't forget the human factor. When a new developer joins the project, unit tests act like guardrails. They show how the code is supposed to behave. They lower the onboarding curve. So, no, unit tests won't magically save your app, but they'll save your team's sanity, and probably a few weekends too. My personal take, some developers swear by them, saying they're essential for writing reliable code. Others, they skip them entirely and ship anyway, and somehow their apps still work. So, what do I think? I've worked with and without unit tests. I've seen clean tested code bases and also massive spaghetti systems where testing wasn't even an option. Here's my honest opinion. You don't always need unit tests. If you're building a throwaway prototype or automating a small task for yourself, fine, skip them. But if you plan to maintain that code, if it's part of a product, a team, or anything that might grow, not having unit tests is a ticking time bomb. It's not about dogma. It's about being smart with your time and future-proofing your work. The key is knowing when testing adds value and when it's just noise. But enough about me. What about you? Do you test everything by default, or do you rely on strong instincts and manual testing? Have unit tests ever saved your ass or just wasted your time? Drop your experience in the comments. I want to hear from real developers who've seen both sides, not just what the textbooks say. If you found this interesting, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. I post real talk dev content, no tutorials, no corporate BS, just honest conversations about what it's like to build software today. See you in the next video. So, what's the truth? Are we wasting time writing tests that no one maintains? Or are we cutting corners and setting ourselves up for disaster? Today, I'm diving into one of the most hotly debated topics in software development: unit testing. Why some love it, why others hate it, and when it actually makes sense to use it. No fluff, just real talk. What are unit tests? Let's make sure we're all on the same page. A unit test is a small, isolated, automated test that checks whether a specific piece of code, usually a single function or method, behaves the way we expect it to. Think of it like this: you're writing code to double check that your other code actually works. It's considered the foundation of automated testing, and many engineering teams treat it like gospel. But here's the thing: it sounds great in theory, clean, repeatable, safe, but in practice, that's where the debate starts.